Michael Sheldon, the marketing manager, is with us from Mepps Lures headquarters in Antigua, Wisconsin. Welcome to the show, Michael.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
It's good to have you with us. Now, what's new at Mepps?
Oh, we've got a variety of new products. We always have something new to kind of keep up with the fisheries and allow the fishermen to have something new to offer to the fish.
So tell us about some of the new lures in the product line.
We've got a new musky spinner called the H210. It's one of the big double-bladed musky lures with the flashaboo tail, which are really popular on the market right now. We also have a new Aglia Bright, which is the first Mepps spinner that we've offered in the 4 smaller sizes that has a colored body. And we also have a new dorsal fin spinner, which is a bass spinner that is as weedless as a safety pin style spinner bait.
Now, I've used Mepps for panfish with incredible success. I've also had a Mepps perform really well with catching trout. Now, I employ the old casting bubble with a swivel attachment setup. Do you remember that?
Yes.
You don't see that rig anymore, do you?
No, and it's not necessarily something you have to have with a Mepps spinner. We make a high-quality spinner with machine components, so the spinner has a perfect balance, and as long as the spinner's undamaged, you shouldn't have that much problem with line twist.
Okay, well, what about adding weight to it to get a farther cast?
You can do that. The further that you put the weight away from the spinner to allow the spinner to function naturally, the better.
Mm-hmm. Now, the Mepps design was originally developed by a French engineer, Andre Muehlnart, in the late 30s. How did your family come to be involved in the company?
Well, it's a long story, but to make it as short as I can, my grandfather owned a sporting goods store here in Antigua, Wisconsin, and when soldiers were returning from World War II, one of his buddies brought some Mepps spinners home with him. He told my grandfather they were great fish catchers, and of course you hear that all the time.
Right.
And it took a couple years for my grandfather to give them a try, but once he did, he was impressed by them, and he wanted to start selling them in his sports shop. He contacted his friend, and his friend knew a gal back in France. And to begin with, my grandfather was trading this gal nylon stockings for Mepps spinners.
Oh, wow.
So eventually, the girl was given the nylons to all of her friends, and my grandfather's demand for the spinners kind of outgrew her need for the nylons, so he got in contact with the Mepps factory over there and became the exclusive rights distributor in the United States, and eventually in the 1950s he bought the company.
Isn't that something? What a great history.
It is great, so I'm happy to be a part of it.
So in Antigua, Wisconsin, you're pretty much known as the Mepps people. These are the people that brought Mepps to the United States. That's an amazing thing to claim for your family.
Yeah, it is a great thing. It's always a kind of fun and interesting story.
Now, being a leader in the world of fishing tackle, what are some of the other contemporary lures that you admire in the field?
We're a trout fishing spinner, basically. That's,
right.
First and foremost, what we were, and we've expanded into other markets as time has gone by, but for me, traditionally speaking, you always look at the other companies that are in that trout fishing market, and you're talking Panther Martin, Blue Fox, and Rooster Tail as well. Those are really along with us, the 4 oldest, most traditional spinners on the market.
I would imagine that Muehlnart's design is what the others followed.
To a certain extent, everybody's got a little different spin on things. Blue Fox has the bell body, and Panther Martin's got the shaft going through the blade, and, the Rooster Tail, it's got a lead-weighted, more longer, body than we have, whereas ours is brass.
Mm-hmm.
But they're, in function and what you use them for, they're all very similar.
Now, how do new lures at Mepps get designed and developed, and then how are they tested before they hit the market?
Well, we're always open to ideas, and we've got a product development team here. We also have salesmen. Everybody's always contributing ideas based on, what their needs are, what else they're seeing on the open market, and, we get inquiries from customers as well who's looking for something specific to fit their needs as far as how they fish. We have periodic meetings, and we get in there and put all of our ideas out. And, when you hear ideas and you have multiple people thinking about them, you spin off of those ideas. And once you get something you think can work, work with what you can do as a manufacturer and what your dealers are looking for from you. We put it out there. We've got a field staff of guys that we have test lures for us, and sales-wise and factory-wise, we've got a lot of people who fish here too, and we all get out there and put the lures to the test.
All right. Well, that's the fun part of your job, I'm guessing.
That is.
Right.
We all like to get out and go fishing.
What are some of your favorite fish to go after?
I especially enjoy fishing for trout.
Mm-hmm.
I also like fishing for pike and bass too. I do a little bit of walleye and muskie fishing as well, and it's always nice to take the kids out and fish for some panfish too. So
yeah, the panfish
pretty diverse
yeah.
in the species available here in Wisconsin.
Oh, absolutely. It's an outdoor paradise. Let's talk about, because Mepps is always known for their muskie lures as well. What advice do you have? That's a difficult fish to catch. What advice do you have for novice muskie anglers?
It can be a difficult fish to catch. I've had plenty of days where you don't catch a fish and don't see too many, but I've had days where you catch several, and you see quite a few more than that. It's basically you learn the fishery that you want to fish in, so you can have a pretty good idea where the fish hold, and size your bait to the temperature of the water, and then use colors considering light conditions and the color of the water as well.
And if people want to take a tour of the Mepps headquarters in Antigua, Wisconsin, how do they go about doing that?
Well, you can just show up at the factory. We're open from 7:30 until 4 o'clock, Monday through Thursday. Those are the times that we offer tours. They're pretty much on demand, so at any point in time, you just show up, request a tour, and we take you on one. All we request is that if you have a larger group, you let us know a little bit in advance.
Okay. Very good. Well, I'd love to take a trip up north and see you. I want to thank you and your company for many years of fishing enjoyment for my family, and I look for many, many more to come. Thanks for being with us, Michael Sheldon from Mepps.
Thank you very much, Mike. I appreciate the opportunity.